Hello, good afternoon, and a very warm welcome to this live Employers Masterclass session from the Changing Education Group. This is an opportunity for employers to give you, the students, a real insight into their world of work. My name is Amos Madra, your host on this virtual work experience program. Joining me today is Ricardo Erasmus. Ricardo is founder of Paradigm Shift Academy Limited, also a transformational life coach and motivational speaker. Ricardo is originally from South Africa and came to Wales 15 years ago to help youth through coaching and mentoring. Ricardo also helps young people develop their character through sports. He has 18 years of experience working with students and sports athletes. So this is someone who's got vast experience and a big passion to support the next generation. Ricardo, a warm welcome to you. How's sunny Wales?
Yeah, no, thank you so much for the opportunity. Sunny Wales, I was saying the other day, it's so hot. I got so used to the weather in South Africa and coming to Wales, different weather in the UK. And I said to my wife, it feels like even a South African will faint in this weather. So it's so hot.
Yeah, especially at night trying to get through that heat. Yeah. So Ricardo, you had you playing semi-professional football. You were active in other sports like tennis, but because of injuries, that kind of put a halt to that side of things. But then you always had this passion to help people. And, you've been helping people, you've been doing some great work, and especially young people. You've got a particular interest in supporting young people. Talk to us about that time, picking up that injury, trying to figure it out, and then finding this calling.
Amos, the thing is I played semi-professional football. In high school, the only thing that I really wanted to achieve was to become a professional footballer. And, for some of you who support different Premier League teams, I'm an Arsenal supporter. So from a young age, it was that kind of goal, coming to the UK and, playing football, come from a single parent home with my mom and my brother and 3 sisters. And so that was the only thing. And I wasn't very academic in school, or should I say I was just lazy. Let me put it that way, and because football was the primary thing for me. And I played in the academies, signed semi-professionally. And after the academy, I was supposed to sign a professional contract. And I just felt it wasn't right to sign that professional contract. And then I went to play semi-professional. A guy kicked my ankle, broke my ankle, and that was the end of my career. And I was suicidal, depressed, was about to take my own life because it was so painful, because, the dreams and the ambitions and the goals that I had before me was within a moment, within a 90-minute game, just crashed in front of my eyes like that. And navigating through that time was really, really tough. Really, really tough time. And I had one coach who believed in me. And he actually, after months of recovery, came back and said, hey, try again, try again. And I played for him. And, we won, the Coca-Cola Cup in South Africa, which was a non-league team. And that was this kind of, we're pioneering something different. But football wasn't the same for me afterwards. But then I always felt that, okay, the question is, what can you give now? Now that you've been in this, disappointing time, what can you give and what can you still give? And that has always been my passion. Got that from my mother, who really loved to inspire, encourage, help the community. And so I've seen it in my house, even though, like I said, there is about myself, my mother, my brother and 3 sisters, 6 people in my house. But if you go to Cape Town now, you'll discover that there's more than 10 people in the house. It's just constantly help. That's her main culture, her main values. And I just felt, you know what? It's no use just constantly being in this pit, but what can you give? And that is where, my passion really came to help other people through my pain. the pain has become purpose for me. And that's why I have this niche for young people, students, sport athletes, teachers, because of one teacher who believed in me while I was still in high school. That this teacher gave me money to go to America, to do summer camps in America. And that's why my passion comes from loving people, encouraging people, bringing the best out of people, but also with this teacher who actually took his own money to invest in my future. And that's where I am. And that's why I'm very, very passionate about helping, young people, students, because I know what that feels like, particularly the ones who are not very academic. I want to be that person that says, hey, there's other options as well, and you might find your way being academic through a different avenue, so that's my passion.
Yeah, it's incredible, just hearing you talk about it, you can hear your passion. And, again, it's difficult when, your life just changes in a moment. You've prepared as you would for any game, and, you go on the pitch there, and just at that point, it's like everything changes. And, I'm no professional footballer, but I can imagine that itself was difficult, but you managed to pick yourself up from that, and you learn from that experience, and it helps you, it equips you to be able to help people later on, as well as, of course, the encouragement and support of your family, and seeing how your mother raised you and your siblings. That also had a huge impact, and you can see where you've had to put that into practice. And I think it's really, really good that you can take all the difficulties around you and find good in that and make something positive out of it. Now, that's not something everybody can do. How did you go about in those difficult days to turn it around and make it a positive experience?
Yeah, just by, how, like even now I'm studying about the teenage brain, that how it develops, and it's still in that adolescent stage. Guess by the age of 25, it starts slowing down a bit, and I was in that stage, but it's just like you were saying, it's those values that carries you in tough times. Is the support structures that you have around you in those times when you don't know what to think, you don't know what to do, that you're having these people around you that can actually remind you of the values that you are actually displaying every day. So sometimes in that time when I was suicidal, you don't know what you are capable of in that time. And then, when I came out of that, I had to question myself and say, what was that all about? And if it wasn't for the values or the way the friendship circles I had, I would have been left to my own devices. But is the values, is the passion to see other people excel in life, whether I benefit, whether I don't benefit from it. It's not about me. It's about encouraging others so that you can be encouraged, but you're not doing it for you to be encouraged. Because I know what that pain felt like. And maybe for some people, it's kind of like, I don't want people to go through that pain. If I can be somebody that's actually saying, hey, there are pitfalls here and there and there. If you just go just do a detour around that, and that's where you need to go. And once you do that and you see people flourish, some people you journey for seasons, some people you journey for a lifetime, some people you journey with different times. But for me, it's like when I connect with people, it's my responsibility to make sure that I bring the best out of them by giving the best that I have, so that it could become a tool for them to move them to where they need to go. So friendship and values has really helped me to navigate through that time as well.
Yeah, and do you find that you get more by giving?
Yes, very much. And I guess that's also the other thing is like, the question is always like, why do you wake up every morning? What is your purpose for waking up? Now, I know that regardless of what's happening in my life, that, that there's certain times I coach myself, speaking to myself about situations that is maybe in my life that needs taken care of. But once I open the door into the world, I know it's like a waiter. You are waiting on people. You are making sure that they are okay. So it's my responsibility while they are waiting for me to come is to bring what they need. And so therefore, it's that kind of thing. It's like you always give more. And once you see more people flourish and they excelling in life, I guess for me, that is the thing. You know, you can always come back home. And then what's funny enough that you can come back home and you actually gain understanding from other people's success and that you can apply it in your life. And so you're helping yourself in the process, but it's by being a waiter or waitress. And that's why people get tips. If you're a waiter, you bring yourself. You're not bringing yourself to get a tip. You're bringing yourself because you get to serve people. And so that's why I wake up.
Yeah, and again, that's a great analogy that you've used there, and ultimately finding your why, which has helped you to the great success that you've had and continue to have. A lot of students I speak to tell me, do you know what, Amos? I just don't know what I want to do. I don't know what I'm supposed to do in the future. A lot of our audience watching this are at that stage where they're thinking about their future. They're not quite sure what career they want to go into, leave alone their why. How do you find your why? How do you find that purpose?
Yeah, that's Amos. That's a very good question. And maybe, for some students who's watching or listening, that's the thing. I would always say that, so I want to become a professional footballer. That was the goal. And it's within that process, I've always been an encourager. Even when I played football, I've always been somebody that listens to people very well. So at the end of the day, it wasn't about becoming a professional footballer. It was actually the person that listens to people and encouraging people. And it's always been in me. But I wasn't aware of it. It wasn't something that I pursued. It was something that was me anyway. So when I lost my football career, then I discovered this is actually what I need to do. You see what I mean? It's kind of like, this is actually what I need to do. This is what gives me that encouragement. So some of you are actually maybe want to play football, or you want to become a business owner, or all of that. And it might change in 2 months. It might change in 5 months. It might change. But what I would say is do self-development, become aware with where you are, and start reading books or podcasts or, motivational videos, or do something that really complements where you are, because nothing is wasted. Nothing is wasted, really. So therefore, it's actually like you might explore today, and in a year's time, you might find out that there was actually more in you. But it's being faithful with where you are. So that's the key, is like, be faithful where you are, because in a year's time, some people might say that when they were 5 years old, they want to become a doctor, and they actually became doctors. But there's some people who might say that I wanted to become a doctor, but now I love mechanical work. And so it doesn't mean that you failed. It means that you've discovered what makes you tick. So that's where the success lies. It is you discovering that this is why I wake up. And so for me, I have the opportunity to coach and mentor sport athletes now, and say, I'm not here to teach you about football or sport. I'm here to help you holistically. What does life look like off the field? What does life look off the court? And then help them and journey with them through that. But just pour into that self-development where you are. Now, for some of you, it might be a long journey and you stay there. For some people, it might just be a detour. And for some people, it might just be a stop. But it doesn't mean you're getting off the bus. It's just a stop, but it's somebody else is getting off there. You just keep going.
Yeah, I really like that. I think having that faith and consistency is a huge part in any success. And I can imagine, on days where, you felt like, I could stay in bed today, but you were thinking about your why, thinking about growing Paradigm Shift Limited, and just being consistent and being faithful. Talk to us how you stay consistent, how on those dark days where, you'd rather much put on the telly and do something else, how do you stay committed to that goal?
Yeah, consistency, Amos, is very important. And as well that even through consistency, there are some some days where you like, I didn't expect that storm, but I'm out and about anyway, so I just need to put up an umbrella. I need to find something to keep moving. So for me, it's Paradigm Shift Academy, whether I started last year, but all of this has already been in me. It was only established last year, but it's always been a part of me. So for me to stay consistent is like, you were saying, it's knowing your why you wake up, why do you do what you do, and for me, it is, yesterday I put up on my YouTube channel, I was talking about patience brings rewards. It's consistency and being patient with yourself. Like if you have a goal and a dream and ambition, is that you put it down and let me say to you, stormy days will come, affliction will come, trouble will come. But if your faith is not being tested, then it means it cannot be trusted. So it's kind of like going through the tough times is actually, you have to hold on to that dream and that goal and that vision and say, listen, I know I'm being shaken by the storm, but I'm going to hold on to this because the storm won't last forever. But I'm not going to give up in the storm because the storm is now dictating if I should let go. It's like, no, I have to be consistent through the trying times, through the different weather, through the different seasons, because at the end of the day, the outcome is you will win. The outcome is you will reach that reward, but it's about staying consistent and having the right people around you to talk to and say, hey, today I'm having a bad day, man. And I just want to lay this off. I just want to say how I feel. But that doesn't mean that my goal has now changed. I'm just releasing my emotion and then continuing tomorrow again. When you open the door, is to be continued.
Yeah. If your faith isn't being tested, it cannot be trusted. Incredible advice. You spoke a little bit about having that vision. Do you have a vision board? Is this something that you work with? Is it something that our students, our audience can apply? Is it important to have a vision board?
Yeah, it's important to have a vision board, but each person works differently. With me, it's kind of crazy because my vision board is internal. So it's kind of like, I'm a very spontaneous person as well. So I might get something like this morning where before I came on, and this morning I was just writing certain things down about how I can help parents to actually understand the culture of youth, their children, understanding that. So I was like, wow, that's amazing. And then I start dreaming about that, and so the vision board is important to write down, timelines and all of that. And I coach people through that. But for me, I'm very spontaneous. I can talk to you today and I might get something that I go away with. And then I put that down because I know that will add value to the vision board of coaching and mentoring and bringing the best out of people. And vision board is very important. And however you do that, that's entirely up to you. But yeah, vision board is very important. Just like I said, but when those stormy days come, because it's easy to give up than to carry on. So you need to have a vision board that you can refer back to, because our brains only take that short-term memory. So which means you need to have something that you can look back in your room or you post it on the wall by saying, I'm not there yet. It's not my stop. I'm not getting off this stop yet. So therefore, I'm going to enjoy the journey and whatever comes with, you've got the vision board that you can actually connect back again. So it's imperative to have a vision board.
Yeah, it's really important information there again. Listening again to, each time you're talking, there's just so many golden nuggets you're just hearing you speak. I think it's important. I always tell the students when you're watching a video like this, it's really important that you watch this at least 2, 3, 5 times just to pick up what's being said, because there's so much good that you're telling us, some great advice here today. And again, for our students, I would definitely encourage you to watch this several times just to pick up what Ricardo's sharing here with us. Now, when you're structuring your day, is there a specific time you put aside for thinking about, again, you spoke about your vision board. How does your day structure out? What do you plan for the day?
Yeah, so the day is like, it changes, but even like today, I woke up about, say, 6 o'clock. going outside, just getting some fresh air, getting some fresh air, having a coffee, getting some fresh air. But a day for me, it's like in the school, because I work in the school. So 8:30, we're having active registration in school, because physical exercise is also important. And then I would have my classes, mentoring and coaching. So I've got 3 lessons in school, year 7s, 8, and 9s that I'm coaching and mentoring. And then what I'm doing with the mentoring bit is half of the lesson, it's a bit of theory, a bit of like journeying together. And then the other half is sports, and using sports as a medium to develop character. So take, for instance, if we play a game, I've come up with a game that's really, I know that you will be frustrated in the game because you got other people. There's sometimes 2, 3 kids who's always good in football, and then there's other 2 that don't, they don't really care, and they get frustrated with them. But it's kind of like you've set it up in such a way that they do get frustrated and stop the game and say, oh, hold on a minute, what's happening for you right now? And then, oh, he's doing this. Okay, well, how about communication? How could you communicate to him so that you can get your goal, so that it can be a bigger goal? And then they would come together with, okay, brainstorm, and then we play a game again. And then towards the end, it's like, how can you apply this in your life when tough times comes? So it's not just games, there is intentionality in those games that helps you with a bigger picture. So we've got 3 lessons, and then afterwards I come home, I schedule myself in. I schedule myself in my own diary, because I'm just as important as anybody that I help. So I schedule myself in, and then I just chill out, listening to music, just going crazy, just enjoying
Ricardo time.
Yeah, exactly. Just me. Like you cannot give what you do not have. You cannot give what you do not have. So if I want people to prosper, and if I want people to excel and become all that they need to be, then I need to be that one that I need to give it off. So I schedule myself in, and then I have like coaching sessions with teachers that I'm coaching as well. So I would have one coaching session in an hour just to write stuff up, and then have another coaching session, and then 4:00, me time and my wife's time. So yeah, it's having those times for yourself as well. So then the day is done by 4:00.
Yeah, it's really important that you give to yourself as well. I was saying to the students this morning, you can't pour from an empty cup. So you definitely need to make sure you look after yourself as well.
Exactly.
What do you enjoy doing the most in all your activities?
In school, or just on my own?
Well, you tell me. In school, or what's that one thing that stands out?
See, Amos, that's really good coaching there. Tell me. That's very good. Putting it back on me. Yeah, what I love doing is is reading, is listening to music. I'm a rapper as well, so music, and also just like having like just laughter. I just love laughter. Calling a friend of mine, or hanging out with a friend, and just have a blast. Laughter is like medicine. Do you know what I mean? It's like it's helpful, and so that is for me how I spend my time. But also it's just energizing yourself, really, and because you give so much as a coach, and this, that you give so much of yourself that even when people put the phone down, that stuff is still with you. You're still thinking about it and all of that. So for me, it's, write the stuff down, and then also just have a blast, have fun, music, spending me time. And that's how I do it.
Yeah, definitely. I think, laughter and, being in a good state of mind has a huge impact in how your day flows as well. I was doing a bit of shopping the other day, and listening to the in-store radio, and the lady says, just stop, laugh, enjoy yourself. Just don't take yourself too serious sometimes. Enjoy life. Life is meant to be enjoyed. And I was thinking about that. I was thinking, that's a good point. Let's, just stop, and for what no apparent reason, just to be happy for the fact of being alive, I suppose. That's something to be grateful about. But
Yes.
yeah, big part of that. when I hear you talk, one theme that continues is your environment. And I think, you're very conscious about your environment, creating an environment that's conducive to growth. Is there any particular things that you do purposefully to make sure that you're in a good environment so that you're in a good state of mind?
Good question. Yeah, like even with a Paradigm Shift Academy, it's we creating a culture of possibility. We're creating a culture of possibility, and whatever it is you need to get to, the culture that I'm creating is a culture of possibility. So I'm very conscious about creating environment and culture for people to flourish in, because we are so diverse in gifts and ethnicity that there has to be a culture that says, I can be myself here, and I can bring my gifts, my abilities into the space, and I know I'm going to grow from this. So because I had that culture in my house, I was the recipient of that. And I know what it feels like. I know I've had friends in South Africa who, even up till today, for 20, 25 years, we're still there. And what I want to say is, if you have a friendship circle, I want to challenge you quickly on this for the students, is that what does your friendship look like? And in your friendship circle, are you fueled positively by that, or are they sapping what is in you? Because when there's an environment like that, then you always will be in the deficit. You'll be in the deficit because what you want to accomplish, the environment needs to be right. Just like seed needs to be in the right ground, it's important for it to flourish. So I'm very intentional with creating a culture of possibility and being honorable to who's coming into the space, that they will feel like, you know what, it might take me 2 weeks, it might take me 5 years, it might take me whatever that might be. But there's an intentionality about creating an environment for people to flourish and then say, you know what, I can give it a go. I'll do it afraid. I'll give it a go. And so, yeah, I'm very intentional about environment. When I played football, I would sign for football teams that always had an environment of family. I might get paid less than a club who wants me for more money. I can gain more money, but that's not my value. My value is, if I'm at this club for 3 years and sign for 3 years, am I going to grow as a person? I'll grow as a footballer, but once I'm done with football, you forget about me. But will I grow as with values? So that has always been an intentionality of me. What culture are you creating, and in what environment do you find yourself? Because success is predictable. If you don't put the work in, you won't make it. There's no magic wand for that. If you put the work in, you are predicting that this will work. So your environment is just as important as working hard. So check your friendship circles and evaluate that.
Huge advice. Absolutely incredible. Guys, I keep saying you need to watch this a couple of times, because what's being shared here is absolutely gold dust. It's incredible. Ricardo, what's your final, we're already coming towards the end, what's your final words of advice? Some great stuff has already been said. What's your final words of advice for our audience?
Yeah, what stood out for me, even as we were just talking here, is the importance of getting to know who you are. Spend time with yourself. Is important for you to get to know who you are. And once you know who you are, you can go in environments and you will actually test the environments by your values. So therefore, as a student, that you will always make good decisions if it comes from your values. If it comes from who you are, it's likely that you will get to your destination much quicker. But spend time with yourself, you know what I mean? Get to know who you are. What is it that you like doing? What is it that makes you tick? What is it that brings joy to you? Those are the things. Because if the other thing I want to say is, you be the train setter. You be the person that people will look at and say, I want to become, or I want to imitate those values. And all the successes that comes with it, it will be a byproduct of who you are.
Wow. don't think there's much more we can add to that. Ricardo, thank you so much indeed for spending this afternoon with us on this live masterclass session here from the Change in Education group. So much good has been spoken here. The truths that you've shared with us, if your faith isn't tested, can it be trusted? And just, again, being intentional. Knowing your why, knowing why you're doing what you're doing.
Yes.
And consistency again, some great advice you've offered us. And I just want to say a huge thank you for taking the time to share your experiences and knowledge with our students here today.
You're welcome. Thank you for the opportunity.
And also thank you to you, our students. Thank you very much to everyone for taking part in this week of virtual work experience. I know that you guys have been very busy with all the activities. Don't forget to keep sending your reflections, your feedback. What have you thought of the activities that you've been taking part in throughout the day? I'd also like for you to send your reflections and feedback on this session, this live masterclass session. Of course, you know the email address by now, which is workexperience@changeineducation.co.uk. Again, a lot of truths have been spoken here. My advice would be to watch this several times with a pen and paper just to take good notes of what Ricardo shared with us. Well, guys, thank you very much indeed for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hit the bell icon so that you're notified whenever we upload a video. And of course, do like this video too. So for myself, Amos Madra, Ricardo Erasmus, and also all the team here at the Change in Education group, thank you very much. Take care. Bye-bye.